Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read Ecclesiastes 4-8, Psalm 5 and Proverbs 6. Let's get started. I looked and saw how much people were suffering on this earth. I saw the tears of those who are suffering. They don't have anyone to comfort them. Power is on the side of those who treat them badly. Those who are suffering don't have anyone to comfort them. When I announced that those who had already died are happier than those who are still alive, but someone who hasn't been born yet is better off than the dead or the living. That's because that person hasn't seen the evil things that are done on earth. I also saw that a person works hard and accomplishes a lot. And they do it only because they want what another person has. It doesn't have any meaning either. It's like chasing the wind. Foolish people fold their hands and don't work, and that destroys them. One handful with peace and quiet is better than two handfuls with hard work. Working too hard is like chasing the wind. Again, I saw something on earth that didn't mean anything. A man lived all by himself. He didn't have any sons or brothers. His hard work never ended, but he wasn't happy with what he had. Who am I working so hard for? He asked. Why don't I get the things I enjoy? That doesn't have any meaning either. In fact, it's a very bad deal. Two people are better than one. They can help each other in everything they do. Suppose either of them falls down. Then the one can help the other one up. But suppose a person falls down and doesn't have anyone to help them up. Then feel sorry for that person. Or suppose two people lie down together. Then they will keep warm. But how can one person keep warm alone? One person could be overpowered, but two people can stand up for themselves. And a rope made out of 3 cords isn't easily broken. A poor but wise young man is better off than an old but foolish king. That king doesn't pay attention to a warning anymore. The young man might have come from prison to become king, or he might have been born poor within the kingdom but still became king. I saw that everyone was following the young man who had become the new king. At first, all the people served him when he became king, but those who came later weren't pleased with the way he was ruled. That doesn't have any meaning either. It's like chasing the wind. Be careful what you say when you go to God's house. Go there to listen. Don't be like foolish people when you offer your sacrifice. They do what is wrong and don't even know it. Don't be too quick to speak. Don't be in a hurry to say anything to God. God is in heaven. You are on earth, so use only a few words when you speak. Many worries result in dreams. Many words will result in foolish talk. When you make a promise to God, don't wait too long to carry it out. He isn't pleased with foolish people, so do what you have promised. It is not good to make a promise and not keep it. It is better to make no promise at all. Don't let your mouth cause you to sin. Don't say to the temple messenger, my promise was a mistake. Why should God be angry with what you say? Why should he destroy what you have done? Dreaming too much and talking too much are meaningless. So have respect for God. Suppose you see poor people being treated somewhere, and what is being done to them isn't right or fair. Don't be surprised by that. One official is watched by a higher one. Officials who are even higher are watching both of them. All of them take what the land produces, and the king himself takes his share from the fields. Anyone who loves money never has enough. Anyone who loves wealth is never satisfied with what they get. That doesn't have any meaning either. As more and more goods are made, more and more people use them up. So how can those goods benefit their owners? All they can do is look at them with desire. The sleep of a worker is sweet. It doesn't matter whether they eat a little or a lot, but the wealth of rich people keeps them awake at night. I've seen something very evil on earth. It's when wealth is stored up and then brings harm to its owner. It's also when wealth is lost because of an unwise business deal. Then there won't be anything left for the owner's children. Everyone is born naked. They come into the world with nothing, and they go out of it with nothing. They don't get anything from their work that they can take with them. Here's something else that is very evil. Everyone is born, and everyone dies. And what do they get for their work? Nothing. It's like working for the wind. All their lives they eat in darkness. Their lives are full of trouble, suffering, and anger. I have seen what is good. It is good for a person to eat and drink. It is good for them to be satisfied with their hard work on this earth. That's what they should do during the short life God has given them. That's what God made them for. Sometimes God gives a person wealth and possession. God makes it possible for that person to enjoy them. God helps them accept the life He has given them. God helps them to be happy in their work. All these things are gifts from God. A person like that doesn't have to think about how their life is going. That's because God fills their hearts with joy. I've seen another evil thing on this earth, and it's a heavy load on human beings. God gives some people wealth, possessions, and honor. They have everything their hearts desire, but God doesn't let them enjoy those things. Instead, strangers enjoy them. This doesn't have any meaning. It's a very evil thing. A man might have 100 children. He might live a long time, but suppose he can't enjoy his wealth, and suppose he isn't buried in the proper way. Then it doesn't matter how long he lives. I'm telling you that a baby that is born dead is better off than that man is. That kind of birth doesn't have any meaning. The baby dies in darkness and leaves this world, and in darkness it's forgotten. It didn't even see the sun. It didn't know anything at all, but it has more rest than that man does. And that's true even if he lives for 2,000 years but doesn't get to enjoy his wealth. All people die and go to the grave, don't they? People eat up everything they work to get, but they are never satisfied. What advantage do wise people have over those who are foolish? What do poor people gain by knowing how to act toward others? Being satisfied with what you have is better than always wanting more. That doesn't have any meaning either. It's like chasing the wind. God has already planned what now exists. He has already decided what a human being is. No one can argue with someone who is stronger. The more words people use, the less meaning there is. And that doesn't help anyone. Who knows what's good for a person? They live for only a few meaningless days. They pass through life like a shadow. Who can tell them what will happen on earth after they are gone? A good name is better than fine perfume. People can learn more from learning when someone dies than from being happy when someone is born. So it's better to go where people are mourning than to go where people are having a good time. Everyone will die someday. Those who are still living should really think about that. Not being able to figure things out is better than laughter. That's because sorrow is good for the heart. Those who are wise are found where there is sorrow. But foolish people are found where there is pleasure. Pay attention to a wise person's warning. That's better than listening to the songs of those who are foolish. A foolish person's laughter is like the crackling of thorns burning under a pot. That doesn't have any meaning either. When a wise person takes wealth by force, they become foolish. It is simple to take money from people who want special favors. The end of a matter is better than its beginning. So it's better to be patient than proud. Don't become angry cookies. Anger lives in the hearts of foolish people. Don't say, why were things better in the good old days? It isn't wise to ask that kind of question. Wisdom is a good thing. It's like getting a share of the family wealth. It benefits those who live on this earth. Wisdom provides safety, just as money provides safety. But here's the advantage of wisdom. It guides those who have it. Think about what God has done. Who can make straight where He has made crooked? When times are good, be happy. But when times are bad, here's something to think about. God has made bad times. He has also made good times, so no one can find out anything about what's ahead for them. In my meaningless life, here's what I've seen. I've seen godly people dying, even though they are godly. And I've seen sinful people living a long time, even though they are sinful. Don't claim to be better than you are, and don't claim to be wiser than you are. Why destroy yourself? Don't be too sinful, and don't be foolish. Why die before your time comes? It's good to hold on to both of those things. Don't let go of either one. Whoever has respect for God will avoid going too far in either direction. Wisdom makes one wise person more powerful than 10 rulers in a city. It's It is true that there isn't anyone on earth who does only what is right and never sins. Don't pay attention to everything people say. If you do, you might hear your servant cursing you. Many times you yourself have cursed others. Deep down inside you know that's true. I use wisdom to test all these things. I said, I've made up my mind to be wise, but it was more than I could accomplish. Whatever exists is far away and very deep. Who can find it? So I tried to understand wisdom more completely. I wanted to study it and figure it out. I tried to find out everything I could about it. I tried to understand why it's foolish to be evil. I wanted to see why choosing foolishness is so unwise. A woman who hunts a man down is more painful than death. Her heart is like a trap. Her hands are like chains. A man who pleases God will try to get away from her, but she will trap a sinner. Look, says the teacher. Here's what I've discovered. I added one thing to another to find out everything I could about wisdom. I searched and searched, but found very little. I did find one honest man among 1,000, but I didn't find one honest woman among 1,000. Here's the only other thing I found. God created human beings as honest, but they've made many evil plans. Who is like a wise person? Who knows how to explain things? A person's wisdom makes their face bright. It softens the look on their face. I'm telling you to obey the king's command. You promised to serve him. You made a promise to God. Don't be in a hurry to quit your job in the palace. Don't stand up for something the king doesn't like. He'll do anything he wants to. The king has the final word, so who can ask him? What are you doing? No one who obeys his command will be harmed. Those who are wise will know the proper time and way to approach it. There's a proper time and way for people to do everything. That's true even though a person might be suffering greatly. No one knows what lies ahead, so who can tell someone else what's going to happen? No one can stop the wind from blowing, and no one has the power to decide when they will die. No one is let out of the army in times of war, and even won't let go of those who practice it. I understood all these things. I used my mind to study everything that's done on earth. A man sometimes makes life hard for others, but he ends up hurting himself. I used to saw sinful people being buried. They used to come and go from the place of worship, and others praised them in the city where they worshipped. That doesn't have any meaning either. Sometimes the sentence for a crime isn't carried out quickly, so people make plans to commit even more crime. An evil person may be guilty of 100 crimes, yet they may still live a long time. But I know that things will go better with those who have great respect for God. Sinful people don't respect God, so things won't go well with them. Like a shadow, they won't be around very long. There's something else on this earth that doesn't have any meaning. Sometimes godly people get what sinful people should receive, and sinful people get what godly people should receive. Here's what I'm telling you. That doesn't have any meaning either. So I advise everyone to enjoy life. A person on this earth can't do anything better than eat and drink and be glad. Then they'll enjoy their work. They'll be happy all the days of the life God has given them on earth. I used my mind to understand what it really means to be wise. I wanted to observe the hard work he will do on earth. They don't close their eyes and go to sleep day or night. I saw everything God has done. No one can understand what happens on earth. People might try very hard to figure it out, but they still can't discover what it all means. Wise people might claim they know, but they can't really understand it either. Proverbs 6. My son, don't promise to pay for what your neighbor owes. Don't agree to pay a stranger's bill. Don't be trapped by what you have said. Don't be caught by the words of your mouth. Instead, my son, do something to free yourself. Don't fall into your neighbor's hands. Go until you can't go anymore. Don't let your neighbor rest. Don't let your eyes go to sleep. Don't let your eyelids close. As the deer frees itself from a hunter, free yourself. As the bird frees itself from a trap, free yourself. You people who don't want to work, think about the end. Consider its ways and be wise. It is no commander, it is no leader or ruler, but stores up its food in summer. It gathers its food at harvest time. You lazy people, how long will you lie there? When will you get up from your sleep? You might sleep a little or take a little nap. You might even fold your hands and rest. Then you would be poor, as if someone had robbed you. You would have little, as if someone had stolen from you. An even troublemaker goes around saying twisted things with his mouth. He winks with his eyes. He makes signals with his feet. He motions with his fingers. His plans are evil, and he has lies in his heart. He is always stirring up fights. Trouble will catch up with him in an instant. He will suddenly be destroyed, and nothing can save him. There are 6 things the Lord hates. In fact, he hates 7 things. The Lord hates proud eyes, lying tongue, and hands that kill those who aren't guilty. He also hates hearts that make evil plans, and feet that are quick to do evil. He hates any witness who pours out lies, and anyone who stirs a conflict in the community. My son, keep your father's command. Don't turn away from your mother's teaching. Always tie them on your heart. Put them around your neck. When you walk, they'll guide you. When you sleep, they'll watch over you. When you wake up, they'll speak to you. Your father's command is like a lamp. Your mother's teaching is like a light. And whatever instruction corrects you leads to life. It keeps you from your neighbor's wife. It keeps you from the smooth talk of a woman who commits adultery. Don't hunger in your heart after her beauty. Don't let her eyes capture you. A prostitute can be bought for only a loaf of bread, but another man's wife hunts your very life. You can't shovel fire into your lap without burning your clothes. You can't walk on hot coals without burning your feet. It's the same for anyone who has sex with another man's wife. Anyone who touches her will be punished. People don't hate a thief who steals to fill his empty stomach, but when he is caught, he must pay 7 times as much as he stole. It may even cost him everything he has. A man who commits adultery has no sense. Anyone who does it destroys himself. He will be beaten up and dishonored. His shame will never be wiped away. Jealousy stirs up her husband's sins. He won't show no mercy when he gets even. He won't set any pains. He won't take any money, no matter how much he is offered. Psalm 5. Lord, listen to my words. Pay attention when I learn. My King and my God, hear me when I cry for help. I pray to you, Lord. In the morning you hear my voice. In the morning I pray to you. I wait for you in hope. For you, God, aren't happy with anything that is evil. Those who do what is wrong can't live where you are. Those who are proud can't stand in front of you. You hate everyone who does what is evil. You destroy those who tell lies. Lord, you hate murderers and those who cheat others. Because of your great love, I can come into your house. With deep respect, I bow down toward your holy temple. Lord, I have many enemies. Lead me in your right path. Make your way smooth and straight for me. Not a word from their mouths can be trusted. Their hearts are filled with the desire to hurt others. Their throats are like open graves. With their tongues they tell lies. God, show that they are guilty. Let their evil plans bring them down. Send them away because of their many sins. They have refused to obey you. But let all those who go to you for safety be glad. Let them always sing for joy. Spread your cover over them and keep them safe. Those who love you will be glad because of you. Surely, Lord, you bless those who do what is right. Like a shield, your loving care keeps them safe. Now that's done, I shall now do the Lord's Prayer. Please bow your heads. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we have also forgiven our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.